So how do we want to start it? Do you want to introduce ourselves?
Yeah. We should start by introducing you guys.
Hello, my name is Billy Sonic. I am a Virgo. I enjoy long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding.
I ain't doing
like
all
half of that is not true.
I ain't doing all that, man.
Well, what's up? I'm Billy.
And this is Tom. And today we're going to talk about some of our favorite video games.
Yes. So Tom, what is so we're going to be doing the 9 best video games. Oh, what?
There's like 3 squares and 3 squares. It's 9 total.
So
it's usually what people post on like social media and such.
Oh, okay. So we're doing 9 of our favorite video games of all times, essentially. Tom, do you want to start us off? What's your favorite video game of all time?
One that I often go back to, and I know you're not gonna like this answer.
Oh,
man. I know you hate
Dota?
this. I know you hate this. Yeah, I mean, no, I was gonna say World of Warcraft, and you're like, oh, I hate World of Warcraft. But I mean, I remember the first time I played it. I even like begged I don't beg my parents for shit, but like that was like one of those things where I was like,
please, Mom, pay for the server.
I need this. And I've never had monthly subs were like super sketch too back then.
Mm-hmm.
You could that like when you ask your parents for a monthly sub, they'd be like, with my credit card?
Yeah.
You know, like that was taboo.
Why can't I just buy the game once and be done with it?
They never clicked with them. So that took a lot of convincing. And when I finally got it, I remember just like it was one of those games where I remember playing and losing complete track of time. Right.
Okay.
And that was like one of those first incidents where I was like, wow, it's like 8 p.m. already, or wow, it's like 2 a.m. already.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Very in line, right?
Yeah, I remember I was kind of playing RuneScape. I did play a little bit of WoW. RuneScape was like kind of my catalyst into that WoW
Same genre,
environment. But I don't know. It never clicked with me because I think I always played independently. I never had friends who were I never had friends who were playing WoW at the same time I was. So I never did any like group stuff. And I think the highest character I got was like a hunter elf to like level 28 or something. So like at that point I was like, all right, I feel like it's getting very repetitive, like very fetch questy, and I was like, I'm kind of done with it at this point. So,
and especially if you're playing alone, man, like it's like MMO, right? Massively multiplayer. So it's like I can see why they would get stale too.
Yeah. Did you play the classic one, or what was like your favorite? Or Burning Crusade, or the Lich, or the Ice one?
There's a
King,
crap ton of expansions, man.
Pandara. I was like, really? They're gonna like put pandas in here?
Yeah, I mean, that's like a whole nother story. But I started in 2004, so like right from the get go.
Classic WoW.
Okay. And then I stopped on the second expansion, the Burning Crusade. Yeah,
I think that's the one that I had when I did play. And I loved the Blood Elves. Those are like my favorite class.
That was hype, dude. When that shit came out. When that came out, I'm gonna try not to cuss. All
right.
Yeah. But yeah, when the Blood Elves came out, I was like super stoked for that. And then there was also the other class that came out for it too.
And they like the
Space Goats,
tentacle, Davy Jones locker-esque,
octopus things.
Octopus.
I don't remember the name. Yeah. It started with a D.
Yep, that's what I remember too. Started with a D.
Yeah, I played WoW for a good 6 years, and then I graduated high school, and then college started. I pretty much didn't have time for multiplayer games or massive multiplayer games anymore.
What was your class?
I played a warrior. Undead warrior was my main class.
Undead warrior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, like you
swings the sword, your arm breaks off. Gotta drink your milk, son.
Logistically, you think like, yeah, that's like that doesn't work at all. Like, why would they even allow them to have that class? But yeah, I don't know. I just very fond of the game. Just spent a lot of time in it. So.
Sure. I say the game that I put down is my favorite game of all time is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That game, man. I remember playing like 3D Zeldas like blew my freaking mind as a kid. Like I remember with this list I didn't want to do any duplicates. So Ocarina of Time I remember playing in the stores, like going and actually playing like the model setup that they had, the samples that they had like in the store, and being like, this is gaming. It's like real life.
Revolution.
Look at the graphics.
Yeah, man.
And it blew my mind. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I want this, but like I didn't. My parents didn't have a lot of money, and I was like, I don't want to like get this right now. So like, I can wait, but like, waiting was a chore. I mean, obviously, but yeah, like playing that game, playing the second one. They reused a lot of the assets from the first one, so I was very familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I love like the time travel element in that game. I thought that was really cool and unique, and that was all done based off of the restrictions that the team had, because they developed that game in like 18 months.
Yeah.
So like a year and a half, which is probably like half the time they had to develop
Ocarina of Time.
So with like everyone being on that loop, I thought that was really cool, and like I could like continuously like progress through the game, and it was like kind of non-linear, at least for like the mask.
You can kind of like decide where you wanted to go, and you wouldn't be gimped anywhere. Yeah. Right.
I liked that. I think I really like collectathon games, so like the fact that I was like, ooh, like checking off the mask list, like, ooh, I have 4 more to go. Like, how do I get them?
Did you play any of the Zeldas before that? Obviously Ocarina of Time, but did you start on Ocarina of Time?
I think I started on Ocarina of Time first, and I played that one. And then like playing the second one, I think I was like, I prefer the second one. It's I don't know. It was more my vibe, I guess. Yeah. It just didn't seem as long. So, and it wasn't. It was a shorter game for sure.
Both those games tonally scared the crap out of me, man.
I liked it too.
It's so spooky.
I like the dark element. I remember like looking at the moon and I'd be like, I hope my parents don't come in while I'm looking at this scary moon.
You're just looking at it. Yeah. And that was one of those funnest, like the spooky elements in those games, like graphically too, added to how spooky it was. And then your imagination as a kid amplifies that like tenfold. So
I mean, it's dark. Like, the moon is coming down to crush a village, and like you're the one who's like saving that, and you got 3 days. Good luck, kid. Like
yeah, damn, very very good first pick. If I had to go to that realm, I would say my second game would be probably Mario 64.
Okay.
And just jumping off from what you said, like, going into your first 3D game, it's like, I think anyone, if they went from 2D to 3D, they'd be like, this is crazy, right?
It was a big, I mean, like, graphically and just like technology wise, it's a big jump to go from the Super Nintendo era to the 64, where like I said, rather than 2-dimensional planes, you're working with 3-dimensional and polygons. Like it was rudimentary. It looks, I mean, like, obviously looking at it now, it's like, ooh, this looks a little rough, but
but being able to jump, and then you'd be like, whoa, I can actually like, go up and down and then diagonal and stuff.
There's a Z-axis,
and
what?
There's like momentum in the game now. And then, so Mario 64 was probably one of the first 3D games that I played as a kid.
Did you get 120 stars?
So I was I'll lay this out like flat out now. I was not good at video games. So I remember
you had peanut butter hands and you're like blah, blah, blah.
I remember doing a lot of things wrong. I remember just wandering, right? Just like running into corners, like this isn't doing anything. Like, but like eventually, you do that long enough and you figure the game out.
Did your older brother Ross have the Mario game and then you kind of like played it secondary, or was it like something that you got specifically?
No, we always had to share games in tandem. Yeah. And it was I don't know if it was the same with you and your sisters, but like
I mean, like when my parents bought consoles, it was like, this is for the family, but like Michelle and Sherry were like, we don't really play games, so like, I mean, maybe we'll put like Mario Party or something like that. So like the 64, that was a game that was like, oh, my sister's like, yeah, let's play this, and but other than that, my sisters weren't gonna be like, let's boot up Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and I'll play it and you can watch me, Billy. Like, no, my sisters did not play those kinds of games. So.
So that was tough having to share with a brother. Yeah. Because it was like we both were just like fiending. Like this was like crack, Mario.
My turn. No, it's my turn.
And it would spark so much like competitive fights in us. We just like, oh, you suck at that was like when the trash talk started coming out of me. When we had to like share games and stuff like that. But
you stink.
Yeah.
I'm telling Mom. No. or like your brother would like hit your arm and you're like, ah, and you like start to cry. Like, no, it's okay.
You escalated.
Mom. I agree. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I almost put that on my list, but I actually went with a different game for.
Yeah, and then my last point would be Mario 64. Like out of all the Marios, I would probably say I'm most fondest of that Mario. I've played Sunshine. I haven't played Galaxy. I played a little bit of the Switch one.
Odyssey.
And I feel like if I should give Odyssey a little bit more time, but
Odyssey's great. Odyssey almost made my list, but
really,
yeah, it was.
Oh, dang.
It got cut. It was it's close, but yeah, 64 is really good.
Yeah, and that's my second game.
So the next one that I had on my list, game number 2, Super Smash Brothers Melee.
I could have saw that one.
Yeah, this one is no surprise to people who know me.
Yeah.
This game is what got me into like the competitive scene, essentially.
Yeah.
It was like a game that I remember playing as a kid. Like there's home footage of me playing like Super Smash Brothers in like my pajama bottoms and like a long baggy shirt, and like I'm playing Sheik, hitting Bowser off the stage and just loving it. And I was like maybe in like 4th grade and just trash, like garbage at the game, but like having a great time doing it. Was that transition, like did you feel that way like right off the bat, like right when you played it, or was there like something that like kind of kept you going with it? Like were you so I played it as a kid, like not very like non-competitively at all. Like I didn't understand.
I'm just for reference, you're I feel like within our friend group, you guys play it competitively within our I guess our little vicinity, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily Melee, but Smash games.
Smash in general.
Smash in general, yes.
I guess my question is, how did that bloom from?
That kind of I got a little bit better in high schools when I like kind of like picked the game back up with my friend Brandon.
Yeah.
And I think we went to a couple of competitions, but we were still pretty trash.
Pretty green behind the ears.
We were like probably the best like in. Not even in New Prague.
Not even local
because there was Kyle Harity, who's probably the best player in New Prague.
The hot shot.
Yeah. But we were pretty good. I remember, and then like I was like, man, I want to get better. And then like when I started going to college, that's when I remember over a summer break. I remember watching a Smash documentary online, and like that
that
reignited the flame, and I was like, when I get back to Duluth, I want to find a Smash community, and like I want to train and I want to get better. Like I want to.
And you did all those things.
Yeah.
That was from a I gotta say, like outside looking in, that was crazy. Like watching you, I mean, that was like crazy cool.
Oh,
like cause
awesome.
I mean, I felt like it happened. Like I like remember going home to summer, right? And then coming back and you're like, I'm gonna go look for like a Smash community.
Yeah.
And then you literally found one and you started going to like weeklies, and then they hosted bigger events, and
it was pretty crazy. I remember the first event that I went to was at Chev's house.
Yeah.
And I played that night, and I was still pretty bad. They were playing Project Melee at the time, so it wasn't Melee specifically. But I won that tournament. I remember, and I was like, how did I win? Like, I'm fucking trash, man. Like, and like, it's funny because they recorded the footage of me playing, or just everyone's matches, like on YouTube. And like, I can go back and rewatch them, and I'm like, holy crap, I am terrible. Like, I do shit that's like really non-optimal.
Yeah.
And I won through losers bracket, so it's most competitions do a double elimination. So if you get knocked out once, if you lose one match against someone,
you get another chance.
You go into losers bracket, and then you can still work your way up. And I won through losers bracket.
That's badass.
And in the finals, we do a best of 5. So you have to play the best of 5 every match. So I won that match. It was 3-2. And then the next games that we played, I also won again 3-2 last stock. Like we were on, like it was like honestly, like if he hit me, I would have died and he would have won the 3-2 set. Yeah. But I hit him and
it was a movie.
Yeah,
it was a movie, baby.
Story. Yeah. But yeah, that game, I still love playing that game. So I mean, I wanted to keep it. Like I said, I only want to put one in each franchise, and I think Melee was the one that got me back into that scene. So I put Melee over Ultimate, which is the current one.
So now your tier is Melee, Still one.
Melee is still one. Yeah.
That's okay.
And then
Cool.
Ultimate.
Two. Ultimate. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
probably my second favorite. So of the Smash games.
Cool. Yeah. I mean.
I mean that's it.
That's it.
No words.
Yeah.
We should get moving along though.
Yeah. I was trying to find a way to segue. I was like, oh, okay.
All right. So what's your second?
Third
or your
game? Yeah. Do you know Guns, the Duel, by chance?
No, I don't. New does.
This is gonna be a very like left field pick.
Okay.
So I'll give you some background. I'll give you one story.
Is it a shooter game?
It's a third person shooter game.
Okay.
And you don't see a lot of these games around. It's just like it's like an anime, like you have a katana and you like swap between a gun and a sword constantly.
Wait, was it on the Wii?
That's a good way to describe it. No, it was a PC game
Okay.
solely. And like the best way to describe it is competitive Devil May Cry or just action shooter. And it would be like the most obscure thing you find on the internet. So like back in like early 2004, there'd just be like sites that would like lead you to like weird games that people make.
Hey,
that
come
you
here,
wouldn't know.
kid.
Yeah.
Play
And you'd be
this
like, is this a
gun,
virus?
sword game.
Yeah, is this a virus? Is this even real? Yeah, but it's like I just like one summer I just spent, a lot of time on the internet and I found Guns of the Duel.
Okay.
And it was just like a community. It was like huge. It was like a good number of people playing that game.
So was it a like a multiplayer game?
It was a
that
multiplayer
you
game.
play in a lobby.
It's like
8 people. Or?
if I can relate it to something that's modern, Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to how that game's built. You get into like lobbies, right? And you just try to kill each other in team. And there's like different types of matches and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's very weeby. Very, very weeby.
When you described that game, it instantly threw me back to a Wii game that I played called Red Steel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, where you're saying like it's a gun
aesthetically-
sword game.
Aesthetically,
and I was like, oh.
yeah. Aesthetically, it's that like you're that guy with a katana and a gun.
Milady.
And dude, that was so hype at the time, man. I was like into samurai stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Did you ever own a katana? Oh shit! Digging up the past.
if I had to replay the conversation of asking my parents for a sword, I don't think I could.
But mom,
I don't think I would want to relive that conversation.
But mom, I could. But mom, I could train with the blade. If
But really though,
home invader
But
comes
really,
in, I'll
though,
know the way of the sword.
I want to learn.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my third game.
Okay. My third game that I put on, kind of similar going off of yours, collectathon games. I'd pick Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, the soundtrack to that game. Oh my
That
goodness.
game was people. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a hot topic or a hot take. I really like that game.
Yeah.
I love collectathon games, 3D collectathon games, and that game there was a lot of shit to collect. And I love that. Like I said, kind of what you're saying, like bringing the 2D Donkey Kongs into like a 3D world was like really awesome for me. It's like I don't really like 2D platformers. They're not really my thing.
Yeah.
I did like the Donkey Kong series, but yeah, bringing it into 3D and like giving them guns and like
gosh.
musical instruments.
That was cool.
And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Did you have a favorite character?
I really like Chunky Kong.
Kong?
Chunk. You jump in his barrel and you get huge.
He had the bazookas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The pineapple launcher.
Yeah. That game had atmosphere. I gotta say that game had a lot of atmosphere. You felt like you were like in the jungle when you're playing that game.
Each world was very specialized.
Yeah.
Like, World 1 is like the traditional jungle japes, and then like desert land, and then like there's like a spooky castle and like haunted forest.
I remember losing being very depressing too, because you see the animation where King Cruel would like blow up the island. Right?
Oh yeah.
And he would do it every time you lose. You game over. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, that was I think I dropped it as a kid. I didn't finish it initially, but then I picked it back up a little bit later, and then I was able to beat it just because I was older and able to figure out puzzles that I couldn't figure out as a kid. But
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite. It's on my third on my list because I love collectathon games. So.
It's a good third game. Fourth game.
Yep.
I would say. Should we just do top 5? Or are we doing all 9?
We can do top 5 instead.
Top
Okay.
5?
Yeah. I mean, you guys are getting into it. So
Oh, yeah.
We could keep going. I just don't know how long you guys want to
I haven't seen Tom in a while, so it's good to chat.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Fourth game. Yeah, so I would say I'm going to move to the Game Boy Advance. I spent a lot of time on that console.
Okay.
Kirby Return to Nightmare in
Dreamland.
Dreamland.
Yo.
Oh my god, that was my take it everywhere game.
Yeah.
Like to the toilet, to like shopping, to furniture stores, to family gatherings.
Yep.
It was like even after 100% that game, I was like, let's start a new file.
Still play it?
Yeah, I'll still play it.
With like the star doors that you.
It was so pretty. Like I like the simple sprites. It was like easy gameplay. You just suck things up, and I know you mentioned 2D platforms were like, but I think if I had to pick, out of like Mario or like Sonic, I think I'm trying to think of any other like 2D platformers. I'll probably pick Kirby. Yeah, just over aesthetic, over everything.
I played that game too. I remember the commercials for that game still.
Yeah.
Nightmare in Dreamland, Kirby.
Yeah.
Like
They dumped a lot of marketing into that too. Yeah.
That was a great game. That was a game that I don't think I currently own anymore, but I think I lent it to a friend when I was young and just never got it back. Yeah. I think I swapped, but
Man.
it was a great game. I had a lot, I remember completing it and having a good time with that too.
Yeah, man.
So all right. My fourth game, kind of going off what you were saying earlier, I picked a Mario game, a 3D Mario. I went with Sunshine, Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube.
Yeah.
That one, I like the aesthetic of that one more than 64 because it was like the beach setting and working with FLUDD, like giving you that extra like boost, like allowed you to get to like different areas of the map that you couldn't get to in. Well, I mean, unless you're a speedrunner in 64.
You should see some of those runs, dude. Those things are... But that's besides the fact.
Yeah. I had a friend in college who would show speedrunning videos for 64, and I'm like, this is bananas.
People
How
just
do you
break
do
the
this?
game.
Yeah, like, so perfect. But yeah, Super Mario Sunshine, I really enjoyed that one. Just like I said, mainly because of the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Love collectathon games.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of like environmentally friendly too. It's like, oh, look at all this pollution.
You gotta clean
you gotta
up.
clean it up. And I was like, I feel good playing this.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I feel like I'm doing my part.
It encourages good behavior.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
you hear that, kids?
Yeah. Nah,
Clean
dude.
up your shit.
The soundtrack, I keep bringing up soundtrack, but I'll like go on YouTube and look up like the main song for that. The do 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 that song. That's so good. It just sticks in my ear. Like, yeah.
I've done that with Persona 5 soundtrack,
Yeah.
and I've done that with Donkey Kong Country 2.
Damn.
I really like that
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Any Donkey Kong Country soundtrack, man, is like top tier.
I did really enjoy. Like, I'm always like, yeah, I really like that game, but then I go back and play it. I'm like, I don't really like it though. Like I said, just the 2D platformer is just not.
It's kind of gritty too.
It's not my forte.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the soundtrack's so good.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Super Mario Sunshine is my number 4.
Fourth game. So fifth game.
Well, before you go on your fifth, so once you guys finish talking about your fifth, just like run down like the last 3, like just name them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 5. Shit, I thought I
had more time.
do you want me to do number 5 and you
give me like 2 minutes. I should be able to pick something here.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2,
2.
3.
Is that gonna be Dota?
Oh yeah.
We could talk about Dota.
All right. I feel like it's a cop out now. I guess I'll throw it in the list.
I mean, I'll give a good reason why.
Your number 5 is gonna be like my number 5.
Yeah.
Dota. I guess I'll throw it in there.
So Dota. When did I start playing Dota? It was
High school, college.
Man, I don't want to talk about Dota, man.
Okay. Hard pivot off of that.
It's
There's too much sadness wrapped up in that.
I saw you Dota a lot of.
Oh, I got a game. Yeah. So I'd say I spent like top 5 out of like top 5 consoles. I'd say number 2 would probably be like Xbox 360. That was. I mean, I remember spending a lot of time on that just because of Halo alone.
That was on my list
Right.
too, yeah.
Halo 3.
Halo 3.
It was what I was gonna talk about.
Yep.
That campaign and the multiplayer, like all together, was just like such a complete experience. I feel like
I did not like the campaign.
You didn't like the campaign?
I mean, like, just because I was not,
Yeah.
I had such a better experience playing with friends on multiplayer.
That's fair. I mean, I did both.
It was
too.
good. Yeah. Hello. Just throw it on the floor.
Yeah. Back to Halo. Yeah. I mean, riding the wave. I was a huge Halo fanboy. Right from the get go. Halo 1.
You played the.
I was like from the Xbox. Yeah, and like
Halo 3 was like my starting point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dang, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was trash.
Okay. I was gonna say they changed a lot throughout the years.
They did.
With the games. Halo 2 was probably my favorite multiplayer experience, but Halo 3 was probably the most polished.
Is that the one where they brought in the needler?
You could dual wield needlers, and that was so
that.
broken, man.
Okay.
Yeah, the needler was broken in the third game too. Like if you used it right, obviously, but
One full clip will kill.
Yeah.
With like that burst at the end.
that's what I loved about the multiplayer, dude. You could like break it down and do different. Like I mean, that was the first time I broke it down. I know like some people played Counter-Strike strategically and they broke that game down, but that was like the first FPS I was like actually critically thinking about, like, oh, if I have these two guns, I could, unload this clip and then
If I jump around this corner and lob the grenade, his shield will be down so I can melee him and kill him.
Kill
It's like,
him,
yeah. It gets real. I got pretty, like, that was another competitive game of mine was Halo 3, and like when my friends played it all in high school, like I remember going over to my friend Neil's house and like everyone was like playing that. Yeah. Like in the basement, it was like very like Mountain Dew Dorito hands kind of lifestyle, like
split screen experience. Man.
Yeah. I was trash. I was absolute trash at that game. People hated picking me on their team.
Really?
They're like, "Oh man, Billy's on my team." Like, and I was like, "Yeah." Because I never played first person shooters. Like I was garbage, but then I got really good. Like I probably became like one of the best in our friend group.
Was it because people didn't want to pick you?
No, that wasn't really like a motivating factor. I was like, this game looks cool. Like, and I just learned to get good because I just played it a lot. I plugged a lot of hours into it.
Yeah, me too. I remember trying to sneak up at night just to play it. Like I had a curfew, obviously. Man, that sucked. Those are dark times, man. Did you ever have like
curfew?
Like a night curfew?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, my parents would be like, "Hey, it's time to go to bed."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. But I don't know if it got really like enforced. I mean, there's some times where they'd check up on me, but I remember arguing or bargaining with my parents to let me watch Dragon Ball Z at 9 o'clock.
Dude, you got
like,
him,
please,
man.
Mom. I swear I'll do my homework afterwards. I just gotta watch this episode of Dragon Ball Z.
All the good stuff.
Goku's been holding the spirit bomb for like 3 episodes. Please, I have to know.
I gotta know. Yeah.
All right, so
that's my fifth game.
So my fifth game, I kind of reluctantly put this one in here, but League of Legends is what I put as my fifth game. That I sunk a lot of hours into League of Legends. I used to love that game. I don't play it anymore, but in college I would play it pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And it was like such a community based game. Like you could go up to someone in college and be like, like I don't know. Oh, what's your name? Oh, Brian. Oh, cool. Like, what do we talk about? Like, and I was like, do you play League of Legends? He's like, yeah, I play League of Legends. So it was like a very easy like social point for me. Like, it was a very like non-gamer game. Like, like I said, I could go to pretty much any person in college, and like if I didn't know what to talk about, I could be like, hey, do you play League of Legends? And like 80% of the people would say yes.
Would you say it's the Fortnite of that time?
Oh. Maybe
I
guess.
Like in terms of like non-gamer game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I've never made that comparison before, but I guess
Yeah.
thinking five brain.
No.
But yeah, I plugged a lot of hours in. I remember like FSP had their own like.
Goodness, that was a vibe.
We had FSP like house league, like FSP Papa Smurf, FSP like Baby Smurf, or FSP Goomba Smurf, and like all these different.
Dude, I was Goomba Smurf.
Well, yeah, so,
I was me.
Yeah, so yeah. Then Austin was like an FSP Papa Smurf, I think. Yeah. And then like there was like a bunch of like FSP Smurf
accounts.
Yeah.
Just so we could all play together on like an even playing field.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one I remember plugging a lot of hours in. A lot of like a lot of great times, a lot of terrible times too, because League is like rage inducing and
toxic.
very toxic.
That's
but
why I
yeah,
didn't want to put Dota 2 on my list, man.
it gives you the good feels and the bad feels.
It's
mainly the bad feels.
Mainly bad feels, man. Mainly like, why did I just sink 60? I mean, League was different, right? League was like you had those exceptional hour games,
Yeah.
but then most of them were 45 minutes, right?
Yep,
But Dota 2 was like 50 minutes to like
Longer.
hour plus games, you know, sometimes. But
I remember watching you play Dota and like I'm like, oh my dang, that move looks so good. Like, what? Whose ult is that? And you're like, oh no, that's his E. Like, I'm like, he split the camera in half and like everyone's blinded now. Oh yeah, that's just one of his abilities.
Yeah.
It's got 6-second cooldown. I'm like, what? You know, like
Yeah.
everything seems so overpowered in Dota compared to League of Legends. Yeah, this guy can twirl for like a half second. That's his E ability. Like,
yeah. But I think in a sense it slowed that game down, right? So League was like a faster game.
yeah,
Yeah.
quicker matches for sure.
I'd say Dota 2 is an honorable mention. Prince of Persia,
Ooh, that's a good
honorable mention. Trying to think, PS2, all the Final Fantasies, Burnout, Crazy Taxi,
Burnout.
Power Stone. I didn't say any Dreamcast games. Oh God, come on.
My honorable mentions. I did GoldenEye,
Okay. Yep.
Breath of the Wild,
Yep.
Metroid Prime series,
Okay.
and Golden Sun.
Yeah, all those games hot. I thought about putting Golden Sun on there.
Oh, Golden Sun was so
That's
good.
top tier Game Boy.
That was like an RPG that I actually finished. Like
all the way.
yeah,
through.
I loved the animation of it. I was like, dang, this looks like this is a Game Boy Advance game. So good.
Gameplay was fire, dude.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so just kind of recapping, I guess, the last 3 games on my list that we were talking about. So I'll go through all 5 again. So number 1 for me was Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. 2, Super Smash Bros. Melee. 3 was Donkey Kong 64. 4 was Super Mario Sunshine, and then number 5 was League of Legends. For myself.
Nice, yeah. I liked your list a lot. I mean, I could definitely relate to the games that you picked, and kind of like correlate with the games I picked.
I was a Nintendo boy. A lot of
Yeah.
these were Nintendo games.
Yeah. Did you get the magazines and all? I know it's a
Oh
little
yeah,
side.
Nintendo Power. I
yeah.
remember. Yep.
Good times, man. Yeah.
And then I got the PlayStation one, and I was like, these aren't the same.
Yeah.
Give me that Nintendo Power.
That was the magazine to get, was Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zoo Books.
The Zoo Books?
Zoo Books.
The little lemur dude.
Yeah. Do you remember your top 5 games?
Yep. So I'll just go down to it was Halo 3. I know World of Warcraft was the first one.
Yep.
Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. I said, what did I say?
Said Halo. Oh,
I
gun.
said
The gun one.
Guns the Duel. Yep. And the last one was. Man, I definitely should have wrote it down. I don't
You
remember
had
it.
Super Mario 64.
Yep.
Just
one.
casually like, yep.
Yep.
I didn't forget it.
That's
No,
the
of
one.
course
Yeah.
not. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of wrapped that up a little bit earlier rather than the 9 games. We'll do the top 5 games. So
Yeah.
it's a good discussion.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
feel like we spent a lot of time on it, but
Yeah. Thanks for chatting.
yeah, it was good. All right, take care.